What's up, Virus community? I am Jason Lyden with Conquer Athlete, and this is Emma with Conquer Athlete as well. And we are going to give you some tips and tricks for workout 21.1. Now, the first thing that I want to go with everybody is I want to talk about a warm-up. And when you think about a warm-up, you want to think about the proper sequencing of a warm-up. So in the simplest fashion, think about good movement prep. So what we like to do is we're going to have athletes come in, and for something like this, we want to start with low joint loading action to get the blood flowing. So we might jump on a biker. We're going to have them ride the bike for maybe 1 to 3 minutes. From there, we want to get into specific movement prep. So when we think of this workout, I'm thinking about your ankles, your calves, your hips for different positions going through the wall walks, your shoulders, which encompass your upper back, and your lats. So we're gonna make sure that we're properly warming these things up. From there, we're gonna go into activation work. Now, some activation work for us inside this movement, we are gonna hit up some lateral banded steps. Those lateral banded steps are gonna help getting your body activated for the jump ropes, as well as some bunny hops and single leg hops for the jump rope. And then from there, we're gonna get into a light band with some dumbbell external, internal rotations, as well as some banded presses to get our shoulders elevated and depressing correctly in order for this action of the wall walk of going up and down for that movement. Now, following that warm-up prep, guys, we wanna get into some central nervous system activation work, okay? And what that's gonna look like, for something that's gonna involve more pushing and jumping, we're gonna incorporate something called a hinged med ball throw into 3 vertical jumps. So that's what my coach Em was going to demonstrate. And then we're going to rest, and then round 2 would be a hinge med ball throw into more continuous hops to kind of get that body getting ready for the double unders. Now after that, we're obviously going to get into the workout. We're going to start with maybe some push-ups into some push-up pike position. So Emma's getting into 3 push-ups. And then after that, we're going to push up into like a down dog. And then more of those. Awesome, good. And then we'll sequence over to the jump rope, and we'll add a few double unders in there. Now when you do the double under, you're working on maintaining your breath, staying relaxed. Good. Perfect. So that would be an example of how we get everybody warmed up for this workout. Okay, now we're gonna get into the movements themselves. And what I wanna do is talk to you guys about some tips and tricks for the wall walk and the double under. Now the first thing I wanna talk to you guys about is 2 different ways to do the wall walk, okay? Number 1 is gonna be when you go into that pike position and you raise your leg up high and then you allow your hands to follow in. So Coach Emma is gonna demonstrate that one. Good. And now the next version of that is where she's gonna get into a pike position a little bit more, like that down dog position, and then elevate the leg up high and walk in. And then come down. Good. And then the third version is where you just kind of belly roll, push up into the top position and walk up with a hard press back. Go ahead. Good. Awesome, come on. Now, when you're doing those wall walks, guys, either one is right. So I look at this workout as like a fight, right? Everyone's gonna have the right perfect form until you get into that set of 15. That's like when you need to get punched in the face, okay? And then you just gotta resort to whatever one's gonna work best for you in order to minimize your rest time. Whichever method you choose, your goal is to minimize the amount of steps you're taking on your hand. The more steps you're taking to get back to the wall, the more stress you're putting on your shoulders. So if you can minimize that step, you're gonna minimize overload stress on that shoulder, okay? The second thing is when you're doing the wall walk, try to have that arm straight, keeping your hands in line with your shoulders, because that's gonna allow proper structural loading for this movement. If your hands go out wide, it's gonna make the motion, the energy dissipate more throughout your body. It's gonna cause more energy expenditure. The name of the game is not expending too much energy. Now, when you're coming down from the wall, you want to minimize stress on your shoulders as well. So as you come down from that wall, you can't slide down the wall, but you want to get your hands out quick and get your hands to that tape line in order to allow your legs to kind of get down to that point. Now, when you come over to the double unders, the objective with the double under is first your positioning, okay? So you want to relax your shoulders. You want to have your shoulders pulled down. You want to be tense, and ideally, you want to keep your hands by your pockets, okay? Where that excess energy expenditure is going to occur is when those hands come out in front or out to the side, or your shoulders are too tense and shrugged. So as you're doing your double unders, stay in an upright position, eyes tall over the horizon, head tall, hands by your pockets, shoulders depressed and relaxed, and utilize your wrist to get that jump rope moving. Perfect. All right? Now, like I said, this workout is very much like a fight. You can have the perfect game plan in the world, but it's really going to come down to your ability to get through those 15s and those 21s if you can get to that. Okay? So think about these tips and tricks that we gave you guys for the wall walks and the double unders. Give yourself a good warm up, and as always, have fun.